Texas 95.7, the Armadillo. Craig Vaughn with you in the studio with special guests from the WRCA, Lee Manoir.
Good morning.
And Casey Hooper.
Are we considered special when we come on every week?
You're special every day, Casey.
Well, that's what my Bible school guy told me one time, and I thought I got extra Oreos out of the deal, but
Nope.
Come to find out it was just the short bus ride.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're awesome.
You went to somebody went to Colorado Springs last weekend.
Yeah, we got staff had a weekend off, which was nice.
Yeah,
One of our board members, Mr. Randy Norris from New Mexico, he likes to go up to Colorado when he gets a chance.
And what did y'all do with yourselves on your weekend off?
Oh, hard work, just grindstone type stuff, really.
On the back porch?
Just working.
It was too dang hot to get on the back porch and have a beer.
It was warm this
At 8 in the
weekend.
morning.
Yeah.
It was too
I
hot.
had to get up even earlier.
Yeah,
I had to start at 6.
I just kept continuing on.
And
What about you?
One of the people here had a headache.
Still has a headache. It sounds
That's
like.
a good one.
What about you, Craig?
I
What
was
did you
down
do?
in Lavernia and New Braunfels, Texas. I went and saw a concert down there with a couple of artists, Jamie Wyatt and Jamie Lynn Wilson. It was awesome.
So you had a headache then?
I did actually have a headache Saturday morning.
Boy.
Was Lavernia, she nice lady? Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Lavernia.
I mean, where
I was
in
just
Texas?
nodding.
Southeast of San Antonio.
Every time you could say there is a pothole city, and that probably exists in
It probably does.
Texas.
Yeah,
you could say, I don't know.
We drove past on the way
Bluebird
back.
Mesa.
Robert
It
Lee,
exists.
Texas, and I don't remember ever seeing that sign before.
Oh, Mr. History buff.
Not E, just Robert Lee.
I was going to say,
Oh.
if it was Robert E., they'd have to change the name.
It would
of the
already
town.
be changed.
Yeah. Okay, we don't need to go down.
So there was a rodeo this past weekend.
So let's talk about rodeo.
How was that rodeo?
Yeah, riding for the Brand Ranch Rodeo in Colorado Springs. Very glad that this rodeo came back to us this year. They had to set out last year because of the old vid and things going on around the world. But we got them back on board, and they had a real competitive rodeo up there. And so we'll talk results, Craig, if you want. We'll go ahead and get into.
I think we've had Rhodey Wilson on before.
Oh, you might have talked to him once or twice.
We're not calling him yet. You got results, or you want to talk? You want to call?
Well,
Rhodey
no,
first?
let's go through results first.
Okay, do that.
Yeah.
I was jumping the gun.
You just got the cat out of the bag.
Sorry.
So Wilson
Everybody's
Cattle.
changing the station now.
Right. Can we start over? No. Wilson Cattle out of Canyon got the win and the invite. And anybody that's been to the World Championship has seen the Wilson team.
Yeah.
For years. Rhodey, his crew, they got that win. Will be coming to Amarillo. And then second place was Lions Ranch and Southwestern Livestock out of Kansas. And then third place was a hometown Colorado team, Hermas Livestock and Bachelor Ranch. So that was first through third there, Mr. Vaughn. And then our individual awards, our top hand winner was Ty Swiler from Lions Southwestern. And talked to Ty this morning. He's a real humble young man, of course, asking him, how things went. Oh, we got lucky.
Yeah.
Just had a good draw on the cattle, all that. But he's a good hand. He does a lot for the team, and so really glad for Ty to get that honor. And then top horse, here you go. You always love the names.
I love the names.
Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Not Captain Jack Sparrow,
No.
but
No.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Ridden by Trail Duval from Traherne Ranches and Duval Land and Cattle out of Colorado. So those were the results, Craig Vaughn.
Hey, it looks like it might have came down to the stray gathering, folks, because Wilson and Herman's Livestock ended up with the time in the stray gathering. There's your points. Looks like to me.
Yep. You're dead on.
I'm a New Mexican, so I can't do my math without taking my shoes off, my moccasins off. But I just think it might have came down to that stray gathering.
Yeah, you're right, Hoop. Also, another thing to look at on there is in the bronc riding, we won't beat up Lions Southwestern too much, but that second place team, if they would have been able to get a qualified ride in the bronc riding, that also would have changed things a little bit there. But you know what? That's not what happened.
All right, let's call Rody. We're about to go down that road.
Do that before. Yes.
There we got him. Got him on the phone, Rody Wilson. Rody, congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to travel too far every year to make the World Finals, do you?
Correct. Yeah.
Or to show up. I guess you had to. Yeah. Had to travel far to qualify. Did not have to travel far to be in it. Yeah.
I feel like we've been traveling the wheels off. We've got more a pickup out, seems like, trying to get qualified this year.
I wasn't going to poke at you, but it took a couple of tries, Rody.
It did, yes. It's been a long summer for the Ranch Rodeo, and so.
Well, Rody can attest to this. I've seen him wait down to the further than this before, though.
I have qualified at the last rodeo several times, and that's not something to be proud of.
No, but I'm saying it could happen. But you did it.
Absolutely.
But you did it.
We did.
And Brooke has to live with you now till November. Oy vey.
She says I'm in a little better mood after we qualify than I am. She says I get a little grouchy during the summer, and so.
Well, it's not like you haven't been close. You all summer you've kind of had right there.
Yeah. Yep. We've placed everywhere we've been all summer, and it's been good. And some people, tell you, "Oh, you've been winning." I'm like, "No, it ain't the same. You've got to win. You've got to win first." So anyway, it does change a lot. Once you do qualify, it seems like it takes a big weight off your shoulder. Ranch rodeo is a pretty big deal to me. So it's what I like to do, and that's kind of my goal every year is to qualify. So some people like to do other things, play golf or team rope and do that. So I'm pretty diehard ranch rodeo. So.
Well, it's been like that for many, many years. Rody was top hand when he was a little old buck at championship.
Yep. It seems like it's. I feel like I'm one of the. I feel like I'm one of the older people there. But anyway, I enjoy it. Well, thank you very much.
Not older, seasoned.
No, we're all
seasoned.
There's some teams that Rody and I be somewhere and be like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I hope somebody knows, because hopefully they're not illegal riding in with somebody else." But yeah,
this weekend we're at Colorado Springs, and a team that won second. I didn't really know them, and they were like, well, they were at Moriarty 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, and I was like, that just didn't register then. So anyway, but no, there's a lot of teams in there, and there's a lot of good teams. I mean, there's the horsepower is so much better now. Everybody ropes good now. I mean, seems like back when we started, nobody ever took it serious, and now they pay so good. And there's some rodeos that pay 10 or 12, 15,000, 20,000. So people take it a little more serious now, and you definitely got to work at it. It ain't just like the old days where you just show up.
Right. No, you can see you can see the tide turn. It started turning about 6-7 yeyears ago, and then it just keeps turning tighter and tighter and tighter, which is humbling, but it makes it hard for guys like you because Rody will haul. Rody will get down the road. If he knows he can cut his teeth. And so thank you for all these years of support. It started with him and his dad. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yep. So we won't go back in history, because Lehman's struggling with history today.
You said you were not going to bring that up.
I didn't. I just said that.
I had a momentary lapse earlier in the show but I learned a lesson. Rody, we won't go there, but yeah.
It's okay.
It has nothing to do with my memory loss.
Don't they say you live and you learn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn, apparently. But, hey, looking at the results and the scorecard here, wanted to ask you about the stray gathering. Two qualified times there. What was going on? What happened?
So Colorado Springs is one of my favorite rodeos, and I've got to be careful the way I say that, because I helped put the Amarillo Rodeo on over the 4th of July. So with all that being said, Colorado Springs, I've been going since 2006, I believe, and anyway, we enjoy going up there. It's a different crowd. It's a lot of town people. They pack the house. I mean, they have live bands. It's just a fun rodeo. But when you go to Colorado Springs, you better pull your hat down because the stock is all there. In the stray gathering, like I said, I've been going pretty steady since the early 2000s, and they run. I bet they weighed 900 pounds, and they were as big as stray gathering cattle as I've ever roped, and it took us 1:47 seconds to tie two of them down, to where most of the time we can do it under a minute.
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to say we can do it in 40 seconds, but we can do it around a minute pretty much every time we go, anywhere from 40 seconds to 60 seconds. And it took us 1:47 seconds to get two of them tied down. That's how big they were. And that took a lot of teams out. Like you say, there was only two qualified times in the stray gathering, and it was just the stock is big, and it always is. It's the same for everybody. They were all big. It's like that every year. The cows are big and rank. It's a fun rodeo. To me, it's a cowboy rodeo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, thank goodness you have youth on your team now.
absolutely. I can't complain there. I've got a pretty young team, and they're all gritty and they're all tough, and I feel like I've got just as good a team this year as I've ever had, and I've been lucky enough. I've been on some really, really good teams, and these guys like to win. They're good hands. They ride good horses, so it's fun. I enjoy it very much.
Well, that's pretty cool, and it's good to see Casey Lewis, who's on that, Casey Joe, who's been on with us since he was a pup. It's good to see he found his home, and he's quite the hand himself. But if you go down to Casey McCluskey and Kelton and Dillon, I mean, it's laid out there for you. And now we'll just see if November gives it to you. They're going to come in a whole different mind frame. And the thing about championship is you go hard all summer, but when you get here, it's a clean slate, and whatever happens. So good luck, Rody.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and I appreciate y'all very much. And like I said, that's a goal of mine every year, is to qualify to Amarillo, and it's just something I enjoy doing, and that's what I want to do. So it does take a big weight off your shoulders once you qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, tell Brooke thanks for putting up with you.
Brooke is a special young lady. We
Yes,
all know.
she is.
We all know the burden she bears. No, hey, Rody, I was going to bring something up. You may not even remember this conversation, but when you were talking earlier on the show, you said a couple of things that reminded me of a conversation you and I had in Earth, Texas one night about your passion for what you do, and you just kind of plainly said, like what you said earlier in the show, it's what you want. You work for it. You're extremely competitive, but that's because you work so hard at it, and it means so much. And I really respected the words that you said to me that night in Earth, and it's very obvious, your passion for this sport and for WRCA, and we just appreciate that, Rody.
You bet. It's been a big deal for me. I cannot tell you the horsepower. I mean, I'm into riding good horses. I mean, I'm not saying I've never had a bad one, but I try not to let anybody else see me on a bad one. I've definitely rode some not very good horses, but the horsepower, I mean, the horse means so much to us nowadays. It always has, but we ride a horse every day. Just like today, for instance, we've been at it since 6 o'clock this morning, and I set an alarm at 9 just so I knew that I had to kind of get done what I needed to do outside because the wind's blowing, believe it or not, in the Texas Panhandle. And so I come to the pickup so I could do this. But it does. WRCA has been so good to me as far as, like I said, I've won top horse 5 times, I believe, and won reserve top horse that many or more, and top hand, and I mean the trailers, that they've given. It's like I said, we go to Las Vegas and rope, and those ropings pay $100,000, and I honestly would rather qualify. And yes, I want to win at Las Vegas too, but ranch rodeoing is what I like, and that's what I do. And I team rope too and do all that. But like I said, the qualifying to Amarillo, that's home for me. I mean, I enjoy everybody there. It means a lot to me. So.
Well, that's pretty cool. And we've you brought the horse thing on. Rhodey does not ride small, unusual kind of. He rides stuff that can take on these stray gathering cattle. He rides stuff. He does it every day. And the difference between what you're saying is you cowboy. And that's the thing. He doesn't just go to an arena and drive a tractor that Brooke takes pictures of. But
oh man,
I have a feeling that is probably going to show up somewhere.
It will. It will.
You're a hand, Rhodey, and everyone will give that to you for sure.
I appreciate that very much. I have a lot of people ask me, where do you get all them big, stout horses? I said, well, I said, you ought to see me on a little horse. I look kind of funny on a little one, so I have to have a big one. And I tell everybody, I said, lots of alfalfa hay. That's how you get them big. So anyway.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Don't weaken. Don't weaken, because you're a staple to us, and just keep doing what you're doing. And thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate everything y'all do, and we look forward to seeing y'all again. So.
Well, but please tell Brooke that she is the boss. Okay, I know we're bragging about Rhodey.
She already knows.
Okay,
she
good.
already knows.
All right, cool.
She's standing outside the pickup wanting to get in, and I locked the doors.
You locked the doors. We'll call her next. Get her on the radio.
You better let her cool off a minute before you call her.
Rhodey, thanks, sir. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.
You bet. Adios.
All right, let's see. We did all the results for that one, right?
We did.
We're just going into next week now.
It's okay, Rumpelstiltskin.
What's next week?
Next week,
Actually,
Casey.
this week.
Oh yeah, this weekend.
Not
actually,
next.
yeah.
This.
Is it a 2-day?
This.
It's a 2-day.
Jeez Louise.
You leave in
Jeez,
like
yeah.
24 hours.
I do. So, guess where I'm going?
Where? You going to somewhere nice and cool?
I'm going to go to a place really, really cool and sponsored by the United States Border Patrol. and I'm going to go down there and make a hand. Yeah, I'm going to Big Bend.
Oh, man.
Going to Big Bend country. And
Alpine, Texas. 2-day rodeo. Big Bend. Actually, they have their website, bigbendranchrodeo.com.
Oh, yeah, man. They do it up right.
They do it up right. They were our sanctioned ranch rodeo of the year. And last year. And these people are amazing. And their hospitality is good. I just don't have enough to say. That country you're driving there, right, Craig?
Uh-huh.
You're going. First time I went there years ago, I'm driving going, good God. I mean, unless you're a rock collector, there's really not much to do. And then you get into that Big Bend area, and then, hello, found my home.
Yep, now you know why people live there.
Now I know why the right people live there, and why people keep trying to come across right there.
How are the tickets going for the rest of for the World Finals then?
So as of yesterday, I learned we've got 225 seats left for Saturday night. Whew. That's all that's left in the building.
You want to go? You better go.
Better get her done.
That's because we're only in August, so you can imagine what people who just realized that the rodeo is coming up in a couple weeks are going to do. And
we would normally sell out until mid-September, late September on Saturday night, and we're about there. So if you guys are listening, go ahead and get them. And the other thing I want to remind everybody of, this year you have an opportunity to buy a ticket to watch the first ever WRCA Youth World Championship Ranch Rodeo.
Awesome.
We've got 6 rodeos qualifiers happening around the country, and those 6 youth teams are going to come and show you their skill set Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Casey, on November 13th is when that rodeo will happen. So if you're in town or coming to the rodeo and you looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon, swing in there and watch those young folks swing a loop. You'll be impressed.
Well, and you better bring your dried up eye ducts, and your goosebumps better be duct taped down, and you might not want to come with any emotion, because if you watch what I've been seeing, And it cannot help you but hit you right in the gullet. And I'm sorry, it is the truth. So if you want to feel how we all feel every day working side by side with our kids and you get an opportunity to turn them loose, yeah, well, just be ready because you will be amazed of the youth of today in our world. And maybe some people need to take a back seat and watch what we got going on.
There you go. Couldn't have said it any better.
It will humble them and humble them. So, Craig, on that note, my counseling cost is... Craig?
$25 an hour. Thank you very much.
A beer and a peso where I'm going.
WRCA.org. Get the app. Get your tickets. Get your tickets at WRCA.org. Don't go buying tickets from strangers.
That's right.
Don't Google it. Just go straight to the website, WRCA.org. You can find the whole... By the way, you can find the results for all the rodeos on there, too. Peyton's doing a great job with all that. Keep up with everything happening. So.
You bet. Yep. Thanks, everybody, for continued support. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Easter Bunny.